Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, then welcome. So I want to share with you guys how you can start a spiritual journey. This is the type of video that I'd be interested in a few years ago when I first started diving into spirituality, and my whole life shifted. I transformed and changed so much. And if you have gravitated to my channel, if you're in this space, then you are very much on some sort of self-love journey, spiritual journey, healing yourself, or just growing as a person, because I know that I am, and I'm here to share the things that I've learned with you guys. When we grow up in the world as little kids, it can be crazy. We are very limited as to what we know because we go to school and everyone's taught the same things, and at home, whatever your parents know, they teach you. Sometimes the TV is helping to raise you. We're influenced by society, and especially when you're younger, it's a lot of people just want to fit in. They don't want to seem different. They don't want to stand out, and they don't really question their reality. And so I grew up Catholic and going to church every Sunday for an hour. It was very ritualistic because they always did the same thing. Like throughout every service, it was the exact same except for the, like there was like a 15-minute time that the priest would talk in. I don't know what it's called. But traditions, I think a lot of us, when you think about like traditions and culture, whichever country you're from, however you grew up, tradition is like emphasized, right? And so going on a spiritual journey is very much about shedding all of the identities that you picked up while you were growing up and starting as like a fresh slate and discovering who you really are inside on a soul level, and also becoming conscious. And so that's how I really see a spiritual journey. I don't really associate or think of any specific religion because we're all different and we're here to be on our own unique path. And so for me, a spiritual journey is becoming conscious, and conscious just means awareness, a little light inside of your mind, knowing what you're doing things on purpose. There's a reason behind it. There's a meaning behind your life, the actions you take, how your life is structured, what your morals are, your beliefs. The biggest difference for me, at least, has been what I was told is true and what I was like forced to believe in, or what everyone else around me believed in or was doing, versus me deciding on my own what was true for me. My family was so upset when I just told them, when I even started going to a Christian church. So from Catholic to Christian, you think wouldn't be that big of a jump, but they were like, no, oh my gosh, and so if you grew up religious, or whatever traditions are held in your family, whatever mindsets are instilled in you, whatever the people around you are doing, a spiritual journey is about you detaching from those things and deciding for yourself what is true and right for you, and being okay with that. You have to be so strong on a spiritual journey because you're going to be guided from within, and you're going to be guided from the divine. And everything on the outside might be trying to pull you and tug you and tell you right from wrong, but you have to discern from within what is true for you. So this is how you start a spiritual journey. It's about becoming conscious, becoming aware, and knowing the why you do what you do. What is your reason behind it? Does it align with your morals? What are your morals? What are your values that you've discovered for yourself versus what other people have told you? How to start a spiritual journey? You have to be ready to disappoint people. You have to be ready to let people down. And I know it sucks to say this, but it's just the truth, because when you pull yourself away so that you can grant yourself a chance to discover what's within you, your potential and your level of consciousness, what is within you, what does God want you to discover in this life? Why are you here? Which lifetime are you on? How much is there left for us to discover? We won't know if we don't give ourselves the chance. And this can make other people upset because A lot of times people are moving from fear. So if you detach and you're trying to get to know yourself and discover and decide for yourself what is true and right and what path you want to take in life, other people, they might get upset because they feel like, oh, you're leaving me behind, or oh, do you think you're better, or oh, what are you saying? There's something, they feel like, oh, is there something wrong with me because that you feel you have to do something else. And so you can't worry about those things, because we don't want to live our lives as a people pleaser. It's impossible to please everyone anyways, and you shouldn't worry about that. You should trust yourself and trust the divine, trust God, because to start a spiritual journey, it's going to come down to you and the divine, you and God, or you and source, you and spirit, you and consciousness, whatever it is you want to call it, that the one universal energy that is making me speak and making the trees grow. We are all connected, and it's powerful, and it's alive and aware. It is conscious, it is aware, and it's within you. We all have a piece of consciousness within us, and so it's your divine right to tap within, because that is also where God dwells, is within you. I know we've been taught that God is up in the sky, but God is within you as well. And so, of course, we've been taught to be limited on earth and be told that we're going to go to hell, or fear is pushed into our face and into us. It's been over generations so that we stay stuck and afraid. And the people who rebelled, people like the witches, who were understanding that, overstanding that you can use nature to heal yourself, and we're all connected. We're use the elements, respect Gaia, and be in your power and your sovereign being, and you can think for yourself. Yes, even as a woman, they were burned at the stake. And so don't use the world as a metric for righteousness or good standards. Don't use anything besides your own intuition. And this can also cause some fear, because you're like, can I trust myself? Well, is it my heart? It takes practice. There's no right or wrong, but this is the spiritual journey. How to start a spiritual journey is you taking a deep dive within yourself and learning to trust yourself, learning to hear your intuition, your spirit. And it takes time. It's not an overnight thing, but it is a beautiful journey. And so many things are going to await you on this path. The biggest thing is like you separating from the world, right? Religious text calls it the world, or some people call it the matrix or the systems, or however you want to see it, but it's about the mindset shift and stepping into your power, stepping into your divinity as a free sovereign being on this earth, to discover what's within you and what the divine wants to show you. You guys, when I think of a spiritual journey, I also think about spiritual awakening. And I know that we hear that term a lot, and it's beautiful. If you have undergone a spiritual awakening, then you are blessed and highly favored. It's beautiful. It's about discernment, and it's about an unveiling, you opening your eyes, opening your third eye, being able to see through the illusions and pierce the veil. Okay? I'm gonna link the song I listen to all the time down below. Check it out. It's like Third Eye Open. I think that's what it's called. But I love it because it's so real. And so having a spiritual awakening for me, what led me toward mine, I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. We're talking about spirituality here. We're talking about God, the divine. So think about pureness, light, goodness, righteousness. There is an opposite to that. Everything serves, and yes, integration, shadow work, all those things. But I had my first spiritual awakening after I was celibate for some months, and then I decided to quit weed. So I was going through a cleansing process. Yes, it was me consciously deciding to stop, but it was really my spirit. I had to first get alone. So first I had to leave the world, right? And so there's different ways to look at this. Leaving your environment, or being by yourself, or but those are the most common. That's been in my experience. So being alone, and then starting to cleanse myself, purification, practicing celibacy, just reserving my energy for me, being alone. Okay, then I decided, okay, I'm gonna quit the weed. Okay, I'm gonna change how I eat. So I started to have awakenings after awakenings after awakenings. It started from being alone. But I think for me, what really kickstarted it was the celibacy. And I didn't know that me choosing to be celibate was going to lead to a spiritual awakening, but that's how it happened for me. And the universe is so beautiful, because what happened was I started to come across people who acted as guides for me and mentors for me and had already learned a lot of things. And so I was starting to follow them online. I'll link some of my favorites down below from like 3 or 4 years ago, and started teaching me new knowledge. And now that I was in a cleaner, more pure, receptive place, right, with my third eye open, I was able to absorb that information. Because there's a difference between hearing something in passing and being like, okay, maybe, versus like, oh, resonance. You feel that it's true inside. You see that it's true. God has revealed it's true, but then also you're experiencing that it's true. Okay, so this video is kind of interesting. I didn't know I was gonna do this one today. How to start a spiritual journey. We're going from not knowing or not caring to know or too afraid to know to knowing, learning stuff, learning new knowledge, things we didn't know before. So that's why it's about awakening, from being asleep to awake. And it's about expansion. It's so beautiful and amazing, because there's so much to know, but do you want to know? And then the more you find out, you're gonna change so much. I do want to say that if you've had a spiritual awakening, there's no way to, in a way, go back to sleep. Once you know something, there's no way to unknow it. But there's reason behind it. The time on the planet. A lot of channelers, people who have documented experiences with people, like through hypnosis and just ancient text and through meditation, through different religions, it's been prophesized, and we can see, if we're aware, that there is a shift happening on earth right now. Just we as people, even something like the internet is connecting all of us. There's knowledge available to us, but how are we using it? And do you want to? Because we're all spirits in a body, and we're all here to do different things. We're all on different levels. And so you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else, because you're on your own individual journey. But if you're interested, there's a reason, and something is sparking within you, something is leading you down this path, then it's beautiful, because of the things you're going to learn and discover. And you're going to become such a conscious human down here. Even when it comes down to being at the grocery store, where do you shop, right? Which grocery stores do you go to, right? Are you reading the label? Something as simple as, like, for example, I remember being in high school and having a bag of hot Cheetos and a Gatorade for lunch. Like, that was my lunch. And now being like, reading the back and being like, what are all these things, right? Which I still like hot Cheetos because they're tasty, but they're so bad for you. And a Gatorade, all the food coloring, and it's just like sugar water, even though they have athletes promoting it, whatever. And so now being more conscious, or being on a spiritual journey, is like you knowing that, okay, let's use avocado oil instead. Let's not, does it have fillers? It should only have like 2 ingredients on the back, or maybe 3. Okay, we need salt, like real salt, sea salt for electrolytes to absorb the water into our cells. You know, we have to just drink water, drink ice water, drink infused water. You don't need stuff chock full of chemicals and things like that. So even as something as simple as what you're putting in your mouth, you know why you're doing it. You're deciding, you're coming from a more conscious place. Your spiritual life, what that looks like. You're not allowing others to tell you how you get to live. You're deciding from yourself, and you're coming from a pure place, because the only person, not even person, but the only thing that you are answering to is the divine. It's a very sacred, beautiful, spiritual, intimate journey. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. You're answering to God. You're gonna have to face God. And when you are gifted with knowledge, especially new knowledge that others haven't found out yet, how are you going to use it? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to use it to control people? Are you going to use it to try to be in a place of power and of authority to try to tell them and dictate to them? Or are you going to empower them? Because for me, the spiritual journey is about empowerment, awakening to the power that has always been within me, but that has been that has been siphoned from the outside. We've given our power away to institutions, to beliefs, programming, other people. But when you awaken, you recognize, wait a minute, it's my divine right to have this power and use this power for my own highest good and the good of others. So that's the biggest thing for me. How to start a spiritual journey is you empowering yourself versus you giving your power away. When I was in the world, I was giving my power away to people, to harmful foods, harmful activities, marijuana. I was giving my power. Oh, I need this just to have a good day. Oh, I need this toxic person because he makes me feel good for an hour. Oh, I need this toxic friend circle, but it's unhealthy. All we do is drink. I need someone to tell me what to do with my life. I need my boss to tell me what to do. I need this job just so I can pay my bills. Giving your power away versus how to start a spiritual journey, you empower yourself. You recognize that you're whole. Anyone you're in a relationship with, you're already whole. They are adding love into your life. They don't complete you. You're already complete. They're meaningful in your life. They add love. It's an exchange of love. You pour into one another, and it's beautiful. It's blissful, and it's going to teach you a lot. But you're already complete. Right? The foods that you eat, you empower yourself. Maybe it doesn't taste the best every time, but you're doing it because you care for yourself. You're tapping into self-care, health, love, doing what's healthy for your body because you love yourself. You are, if you want, creating your own job or your own path, carving your own way, doing things you love. You're empowering yourself. You're believing in yourself. Oh, I can do this. I got this. If they can do it, I can do it. I'm talented. It's not just those people over there that can live their dreams. No, I can live my dream. You can live your dream. You empower yourself. So it's about a mindset shift. How to start a spiritual journey. Okay. Pleasing the spirit versus pleasing the flesh. Yeah. Okay, what does this look like? Living from your heart space, and it can be challenging in the world we're in because a lot of times, see, the thing that I don't really appreciate about religion is a lot of times it's superficial. It's just people being courteous in church, wanting that relationship with God, but then after they're out the doors, it's a whole other story. They were at the club last night. They were here or there. They're drinking, they're getting drunk, they're smoking cigarettes, they're doing all this stuff, and it's not about judgment, but the lifestyle, it's not matching up. Something is not, the math ain't mathin'. And so that's why I call it a spiritual journey, because it's about an authentic, true path. And what is pleasing to the spirit, which you can think of your spirit connected to your heart, which is love, which is a high vibration. It's going to help you feel good. You're going to be radiating. You're going to become an instrument of peace on this earth, but it's also pleasing to God because it's very interesting. When you do the right thing, it serves you and it serves everything around you. We're connected, but even if you see others, like the animals, the plants, the world, the energy, which is unseen, but it's felt, the trajectory of the earth, where we're going, future generations, healing the past, everything, when you just simply move from love. But it can be harder to do, pleasing the spirit versus pleasing the flesh. So the flesh is, think of it as the ego, where you just are so separate. Oh, it's just about me. It's that those people, whatever they're going through, that's their problem. I'm just over here worried about me, my money, my family, my race, my whatever, my needs, my wants, what tastes good to me. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Like, and so the flesh is your physical body, your eyes, like wanting something, desiring something that's maybe lustful, that you know is probably not good for you, but you're gonna just do it anyways. You're gonna just move off of what your body parts want. And these lustful desires are so fleeting. Like, for example, you know how people play that game like craps or whatever, or people go to Vegas and bet their whole house. Like, that is crazy, you know, but it's lust. It's that thrill that your eyes are all dazzling, like, oh, but I could win, you know, so much. And then you could lose or win. Like, why would you bet that? Like, versus being in a peaceful state. And that's why I just did that video on how to choose love and how to choose peace over chaos, because the world wants you to choose chaos. So you can be confused, in pain, hurting, lost. Oh, this is a spiritual walk that we're all on. We're all on a spiritual journey. How to start a spiritual journey? We're all on a spiritual journey, by the way. So we might as well do it consciously. We might as well be aware and mindful of the choices that we're making. An easy way that I like to think of this is when it comes to food and eating. And I am a foodie. I love food. I mean, we have taste buds, but think about that. Pleasing the flesh. So we can say the tongue is part of the flesh. You can use it for the spirit as well, though, right? The words you say. You're casting spells with your words. They're powerful. It's energy. It goes into the universe and it exists forever. You cannot take back your words. And so you should be mindful of what you say. But we're talking about food, pleasing the flesh. And that's why scriptures will tell you about things like gluttony, greed. These are sins. Why? Because you're harming yourself. The flesh is greedy. It's going to want all of these things. If you're a man, you might want a bunch of girlfriends, or maybe you're lustful over money, or you're lustful over food, or whatever the situation might be. That's the flesh. Gimme, 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 gimme. I need it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Like a little kid at a toy store. I want that one, that one. There's no end to it. They want all of it. They want it all. Okay. They want to have their cake and eat it too. But then there is what's pleasing to the spirit. So intuitive eating, for example, in contrast to not eating 3 meals a day, because that's what the world told you, but are you even hungry? And listening to your body, being able to stop when you're full. And this personally is a thing for me that I've discovered in my own spiritual journey. Yeah. And so it's me having a choice of like, am I going to be greedy right now or am I not? But when you fall into sin, and when you make the wrong decision, I'm going to call it the wrong decision because it causes pain. If you eat too much, your stomach's going to hurt. You're going to make your body work too hard. You're going to cause problems that didn't need to be there. How do you just please the spirit and listen to your spirit and stopped, had self-control, discipline versus indulging your flesh? Right? And so this is how to start a spiritual journey, awakening to make conscious choices that are for your highest good, even when it's the harder thing to do. How to start a spiritual journey? You want to look at your lifestyle and be able to see which toxic habits you've just been living in, and you were doing it unconsciously. It was just bad habits. It was just your environment, what you saw, what you were around, what you were used to doing, but it's harmful to you. Things like smoking, which is why I talk to y'all about stopping weed, drinking, or lust, sex, and meaningless sex, or being promiscuous, or whatever the case might be. Let's call it lust, because lust kind of encompasses all of these things, right? So how to start a spiritual journey is about cleansing yourself of these things and being able to discover why you're even doing it to begin with. And this is how you're going to elevate as far as your vibration, your mood, how you're going to feel better, but also become more healthy, which is true self-love and self-care. Healthier in your mind, healthier in your body, your emotional body, feeling lighter, feeling more energy, feeling just more connected to God. And you're going to tap into your strength. You're going to cleanse yourself. And now you are shifting, you've transformed, you're transforming your lifestyle, and it's a process, right? It's not an overnight thing, but are you willing to? And discover your reason why. It could be for health, it could be for self-love, it could be for God, it could be for your children, it could be, there's a million reasons of why, but it's about just deciding to, and then finding the support to stick to it and tapping into your inner strength. It's spiritual. Our bad habits, well, everything is spiritual, but things like lust and the things that we see that a lot of people are doing, it's in a toxic loop and they feel bound to it, and that's how you'll know it's a sin. They feel stuck, like they feel like they can't get out, but you can break free when you decide to. So it's really a decision. Like, how did I stop smoking weed? I decided to. I had to change my mind, and then I changed my life. I couldn't stay stuck in excuses. I couldn't stay stuck in fear of the unknown, or can I handle my emotions? Can I handle being by myself if all my friends smoke? What is gonna happen? I've been used to this. It's my comfort zone, my comfort blanket. I don't want to know what life is like without it. Okay, all those things are just fear, right? And so when you're brave and you step into courage, okay, now you're breaking bad habits. A lot of times they're unconscious, like the sex thing. You might think, well, everyone just is out there having sex, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But once you become aware, like how to start a spiritual journey is now you've made a decision that you're going to make choices from a healthier place, and that you're able to do it, especially when you lean on God and you ask for strength and you ask for really peace and comfort to sustain your decision, to be in your decision and be 10 toes down in what you've decided to do. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And there's other people who have broken free, so that means you can break free too. How to start a spiritual journey is about deciding, making conscious choices about your lifestyle. And that's why I talk to you guys about like celibacy. And because the longer you take the more narrow path, or you do what's more spiritual or high vibrational, the harder it's going to be for you to revert back to your old ways, right? So, and just take it one day at a time. Let's say you decided like, okay, well, I'm going to stop drinking because of whatever your reasons are, and you're wanting to start a spiritual journey. You're wanting to change your lifestyle. Then just take it one day at a time. Don't think, oh my, in 10 years down the road, if I'm at my wedding and I want to have a drink, like, don't think that. Don't think, well, I'm going to take a cruise in 5 years and we're going to Jamaica. And so, no, don't think about all that. Just think about, think about today. Just get through today, and that's all you need to do, because tomorrow will take care of itself, right? But the longer that you're on like a clean path, or the longer you're on your spiritual journey, the more you're just not even going to want to do those things. And if you do, something's gonna feel off. Think about when you're on a spiritual journey, you're releasing so much. You're letting go, whether they're ideas, thoughts, people, places, things, a job, whatever, a religion, a substance, whatever it is. You're letting go of a lot, right? Okay, well, then what? You're gonna feel lighter, because everything's energy. So you're letting go of a lot. You probably might drop weight like I did, 30 pounds, where'd it go? I don't know, I'm gonna drop another 30, but okay, you're letting things go. Okay, you're lighter, but now source is going to fill you with more light. Okay, you're more in your body is becoming lighter energetically too. Like there's going to be more light put into your body. It's hard to explain, but basically it's like God is going to fill you up even more. If somebody is clouded down with a bunch of toxic things, where is the room for God? God's like, hello, do you hear me? I'm in your spirit. I'm trying to talk to you, but I can't get through all the thick smoke to get to you. So when you release all those things, okay, now it's like more room for God. And then if you're gonna have more discernment and more clarity, so then you're gonna really know your path. Your path is going to become even more clear for you, and you're just gonna keep climbing up, metaphorically. Okay, I don't mean physically. You're going to another dimension. I mean, your consciousness level is ascending, and you're going to be able to manifest faster in the 3D because you're more connected to your higher self, higher realms, the divine. Okay, how to start a spiritual journey. The last thing I'm going to share with you guys today. If you're serious about starting your spiritual path, then my advice to you would be to become so mindful of what you consume, because we're so much more than what we've been taught or led to believe, especially in the age that we're in, where we're surrounded by media and we have our phones, right? You're consuming this right now. So grateful that you're here. But there's a lot of ickiness out there. There's a lot of trash. There's a lot of things that are going to destroy your mental health. And so you have to be on guard and protect your mind like you are an emperor, and your mind is your land, is your, is your garden. Your mind is a garden. Protect it. You have to be on guard. Do not just allow anything to seep into your mind. And if you're a parent, protect your kids as well, because there's spiritual warfare and it's unseen, but it's real. And when you pay attention, you're gonna see it with your own two eyes. That's why I tell you to avoid the news as much as possible, because it's focused on negativity. It's gonna seep into your mind to lower your vibration. Now you're gonna feel sad, grief over things that you shouldn't have even really known about, because you have your own life to handle, right? And so, or online, if it's negative, if it's trashy, if it's toxic, then if you're serious about starting a spiritual journey, just try to avoid that, like at all costs, because it's gonna seep in. And the spiritual realm is real. There are things that are aware when you are starting to take your spiritual life more seriously, and you're going to be poked at, provoked, maybe ridiculed, or things are going to be pushing your face to create doubt for you. It's spiritual warfare. So think about a war. It's not going to necessarily be easy. It's already hard enough to be on a spiritual path, but you are going to have things that come into your life to test you, to tempt you, or to grant you choices. What choice are you going to make? Now that you know better, are you going to do better? You can't pretend you don't know. And it's not to say that we're down here to be perfect. We're not. And when we make mistakes, those are our biggest chances to grow and learn, but it's gonna cause pain for you. So sometimes the harder thing to do is what's going to keep you really blessed, keep you super protected, and keep you on the right path that you're meant to be on. Because when you go on a spiritual journey, there are so many miraculous blessings waiting for you. If I sat up here and told you guys the things that have happened in my life within the last 3-4 years, your mind might be blown. When I stop and think about it, I just start crying at the amount of love that God has poured into my life because of my path, my decisions, I feel like, and just blessings, just because God is good. Maybe it's because I'm awakening to it, but maybe it's because of the decisions that I've been making. I've been living my life with intention, with going on one direction, and that is toward God. What would God want me to do? Like, God is within me. What's for my highest good and everything around me? Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Like, focus in on you and your path. This is how you're going to start a spiritual journey. Love is going to pour into your life. Soulmates are going to pour into your life. Your divine counterpart is going to make his grand entrance or her grand entrance for ascension, to help you elevate, to help you heal what's within. Okay, your purpose on earth, blessings, material blessings, miracles, synchronicities, spiritual, vivid dreams, lucid dreaming, you name it. Blessings, feeling highly favored, highly guided, protected. Angels surround you. You're surrounded by love. You're divinely led when you tap into your divinity. I'm sending you so much love and lots of power and healing on your journey. I hope that this video inspired you in some way. Drop me a comment down below if you've been on your spiritual journey, if you've had a spiritual awakening, or if you're just starting out. I would love to know. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourself.